My question is, you talked a lot about religious culture, and I think that in terms of that culture war, we do have a chance. But in terms of pop culture, I hate to say it a different way, but we're not cool. We're just not cool on TV. We're not cool in the movies. You know, it's like in grade school when the cool kids were deciding what could and what couldn't be said. That's still what's going on, except now they're tenured professors and CNN news anchors. So what can we do in terms of, like, I think we have good content, but the wrapping, something is going wrong with the presentation. And I know I'm asking this of a guy who titled a book Werewolf Cop, but so what can we do in terms of that? And also, what does seem to be cool is this pseudo-intellectualism. So how can we combat that, and how can we also kind of be cool in the pop culture, right?
Great question. First, you got to stop trying. Nobody's cool if they try. That's the first thing. But the other thing is this. When you look at the history of the arts, and this is something I've studied and thought about my whole life, different arts rise up at different times. Right now, it's the golden age of television. You know, you can turn on television and see some actual great works. When I was a kid, novels were a big thing. Now they're not. You know, movies in the 30s. I mean, you go back and look at 1939. Almost every great movie was made in 1939. Art forms rise at certain times because of what you just said. Because the elite kids, the cool kids, do not make any sense. That's why I do satire. I didn't start out as a satirist, but I do satire because they're hilarious. I mean, you really don't have to write it. You just report it. You just report what they're saying. Anytime you make people laugh, you're cool. I mean, anytime you can make, and they're just buffoons. They're knuckleheads. And so you can just make people laugh by making fun of what's going on. I mean, look, I think good, the good adventure stories are great. Obviously, the superheroes are a big deal. I'm not a big superhero fan, but that's a big deal. There's a lot of really interesting stuff being done in science fiction now because technology is increasing to a point where our humanity is threatened. And so that creates these kind of Philip K. Dick situations of what happens if they implant a false memory in you? What happens when they can actually turn a man into a woman? Then what happens? You know, what happens if they transport you to another place, but you're still in this place? There's all kinds of stories to be told that can be answered through a spiritual perspective. And you just have to find the way to speak. It really is. You just have to find the way to speak. But it cannot be that the cool kids are going to talk crap forever and get away with it. That's not what's going to happen.